That's what I wanted. We're going to record this because I want everyone, those that can't make it, I want to be able to share this with them every week or every month that we do this. However, you have to be present to go on the drawing for the swag gear. So anyway, all right. What is the Warrior Wire and why did we create it? Why did we come up with this? Simply, it's a way we can communicate and stay connected with you parents. Probably the biggest purpose behind this is just so we can support you as parents, so then you can turn around and know how to support your student better while they're here at Sterling College. The plan is throughout the year to present relevant topics, information through this course of time. Here to, ultimately, we're here to support you and get you up to speed. And ultimately today is going to be mostly about getting you up to speed and for your time here when you arrive. First thing, new student move-in days. Obviously, you should know these dates by now. Friday, August 5th is our fall athletes. That's football, soccer, volleyball, cross country. All those new athletes and our returning athletes will return as well. And that's 8 a.m. to noon. And where you're going to go is the starting place is our east entrance of Cooper Hall. Cooper Hall is our iconic building on campus. It looks like a castle. It's currently where Emily Fuller and Mitzi Suler are sitting as well right now. So yeah, and they'll be their team will probably be the first ones to greet you in the morning when you arrive. Right there on the PowerPoint is what we call the routing card. When you arrive, your student will get one of those routing cards. It basically walks you step by step where you're going to be going until you finally come to the student union, the student life, and receive your sticker, your parking pass, all that. And then you'll go to your dorm, get your key, and eventually get moved into your room that day. Something I wanted to share with you as well is, well, we're not there yet. I'll get to that. So any questions on that? And I want to also go to the next slide here. On this next slide is kind of a checklist of what we'd like you to have done before you get here. It will help you really speed up the process and won't have to stand in line as long, those type of things. Right next to it is the link that you can go to. It'll take you to things like what's on there, the new student checklist. It's also going to, diversity training. That's another thing I wanted to explain to a lot of people. We've been having major issues with this training. It hasn't been getting sent out, but I think we got it fixed. So hopefully your student will be receiving that training within the next 24 hours. So if they don't, it's not a big deal. We'll deal with it when you get here if that still hasn't been done. Something else, when you get here, you'll get your ID. I don't know, can everybody see that okay? You're going to get your ID, and on the back of your ID, you're going to have a color. Your student will have a color, and this is what puts them in a orientation team that they'll be going through orientation together in a group in that color. So it's important that they don't lose that sticker or lose it. If they lose it, we can get them another one, but we would like them to know what color they're in. So when we break off into orientation, which we'll go over here in a second, they'll know what group they're in and who their group leader will be during that time. Another important resource that I think would be beneficial that was sent to you guys, if you were at a jump start, you should have physically got one of these. You also should have received it in the mail, I believe, right, Em? Is that correct? If they weren't here on jump start, good. I want to point a few things out in the brochure, the magazine. Page 4 kind of gives a lot of information on contact information, that if you have any questions or anything, or phone numbers that you need, it's listed right there. Also, on page 5 is the academic calendar. Again, when you get to campus, you're going to get a magnet. Hopefully that'll go up on your fridge at home, so you know when your kids are coming home, when they should be home. You'll be so shocked at how many students schedule flights, and they've got 3 days of finals after the fact that they're leaving. So we got to make sure we're looking at the academic calendar, so you're not scheduling flights when their finals are. So we want to avoid those types of conflicts. On page 6, another great informational piece is just the transition, having a conversation with your student on transitioning from high school to college, the expectations. And also page 7 is another good informational piece. The whole packet is full of information, but those I kind of wanted just to highlight because I feel like they'll be beneficial to you as parents, as you're guiding your student through all this. Slide. Okay, ways that you can support your student and encourage them is respond to emails. You'll be shocked at how many will go throughout the semester and say, well, I didn't look at my emails. That is our main source of communication. So it's very important that they get used to their emails, getting them on their phones, whatever they need to do to make sure they're checking that daily. Everybody, all departments communicate via email. So it's very important. Attending class. We're not, we do monitor class attendance and a lot of
on a webinar. So
Okay, and I got a whole one too. So when are they?
somebody.
this one needs to be e-signed in a little bit. So maybe I can have Amy do it.
Sorry. Also, we talk a lot about this too, is advocating for themselves. High school, a lot of times you're going to have someone, a teacher, coming up to you constantly, getting you to get work turned in, those type of things. Well, in college, we kind of put that on them. They've got to start advocating for themselves. If they need a tutor, if they need help, they need to know where to go to get that. They'll get all that during orientation of where to go if they haven't already. But it's very important that they start advocating for themselves and speaking up for themselves. FERPA laws, if you guys call in, I don't know if you're familiar with those, but you'll have to know your student's password to be able to get access to grades, any type of behavioral issues, those type of things. You'll have to have that password to get, and when you get here, you'll set that if you haven't done that already. So a FERPA is something that we have to follow to the end. So one thing I want to say as a parent, it's important that first month or so, don't let your kids come home. Let them get acclimated here. The longer they stay, the more they feel comfortable and get into the groove of things. The ones that go home every weekend struggle to connect. And that's just off of the data that we've seen with our students. So it's important, stick it out, stay here at school, get involved, get acquainted with your roommates, do things with your roommates, and get involved. So I feel like that's a good tidbit as a parent that, I have a kid that, only has to go a block, but I never see him. And that's a good thing. I got a freshman also coming here, and I'm going to encourage her the same thing. You don't need to be coming home. You need to, enjoy life, figure it out. So I encourage you guys, most of you, I'm sure you're not going to let your kid come home if they're all the way in California every weekend though. So gas prices are a little high. So we want them to stay here, get acclimated and enjoy their time. One other thing I want to express is that locking doors. Students do not lock their doors. We have issues with that. encourage them to lock their doors when they leave, and make sure they know how the door locks work. A lot of the dorms have different types of doors, and they need to know how those work. Another thing I'll say as a parent, and that's if you have rental insurance, you can use rental insurance for anything that you might feel like your kid's bringing that's expensive, whether that be a guitar, computer. I think rental insurance, last I looked, was $3 a month. So we're not responsible for anything that gets stolen out of their dorms. Obviously, we try to help find out what happened, but a lot of times we can't figure it out, and they leave their doors unlocked, and that's often the first part of the problem. So, but look into that if you guys feel like you're sending your kid and you're kind of apprehensive about spending something that's expensive. You might want to look into some rental insurance as well. I think that's it for that one. When I want to go back a little bit here before we start these Warrior Days, but I'm sorry I kind of speak a little fast. I'm trying to get through this because I want to be cautious of your time. Orientation also, when they get here, it's going to be a time where they're going to get an orientation schedule. Looks like this, and during that time, the move-in days have a little bit of an orientation piece for our parents, and one of the main ones is what we call the Warrior Welcome and Service of Dedication. That's a very, very special time. It's a time that, it's kind of a closing time when the parents are getting ready to leave campus after they've moved their student in, but it's a time of fellowship, prayer. It's really special. I hope you all join in on that and are a part of it. It's amazing. And I feel like it's very impactful. I've heard a lot of great comments from parents before. Me personally, it was really good to have. Again, orientation will be a time. It kind of reminds me of youth camp. Our goal is to wear these kids out and just with fun. They're going to have, there's informational, obviously they need that as well, to how to survive campus and what the procedures are and things like that. But most of the time it's going to be fun games, things like that, getting them involved. So not everything they have to attend. There are some mandatory activities they do have to attend, but for the most part, we highly encourage them to get involved in those because they're fun, and it allows them to meet new people and get acquainted with their team leaders. They'll have peer leaders as well, running them through those events. How are we doing on questions? I'll go back here, sorry. Something that we would like to set up for future Warrior dates is a survey. You guys get to choose. I'd like you to vote on what day works best. My anticipation will be to start back up in September. Just for the simple fact, August, we're all here. Hopefully we're all communicating, everything's going great, and we'll start in September. I'd like to do it either that first Thursday or Friday of every month is my goal, and we'll have different people on to speak about different things that are happening on campus, what your student is getting ready to look forward to. Maybe it's they need to be looking to enroll for spring classes, the add drop dates, those things that you can't do for your student, but you can sure help us encourage them to get that done. I think that's a big piece of this, as well as kind of giving you information and saying, hey, you got this done? That only helps us, they're not only hearing it from home, but they're hearing it from coaches and professors as well here. Any questions on the dates? If you just fill it out on that form, we'll get the information, and then we'll send out an email to everyone, letting them know what the next Warrior Wire will be. Good. And it'll either be 12 or 6 o'clock. Hopefully that'll work. if anybody finds any more issues with that, please let me know. But we felt like offering 12 or 6 o'clock Central Time. Hopefully the East Coast, West Coast can find some time to one day out of the month to join us. Again, we are going to record all this. We will send it out. And you have to be present if you want the Sterling College swag stuff. Today, we're actually going to give away this beautiful mug, this coffee mug. I know everyone needs a great Sterling College coffee mug. We'll send out the winner after today and let you know if you won. And if we need to mail it to you, we can do that, or we can wait for you to arrive on campus so we can give it to you then. All right, at this time, if anybody had any questions that they didn't get answered, please feel free to fire away.
Jason.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Gastão. I'm calling from Brazil. How are you?
Awesome. Great.
Yeah, very good. Lucas, my son, is a new warrior. He's coming on the 4th of August, and he will be arriving. Will be arriving in Wichita by 10 o'clock in the morning. So he will miss the 8 to noon jumping start days. But maybe he will get the 12. I don't know how you handle with this. I saw that another parent asked the same thing, that the kid will lose the time, the 8 to noon. So maybe you could send Sam this for this kind of situation. Maybe it's not him, only him. How they're going to deal with that, or to do it the next day, or only with the rest of the students in the 12. That's my first question.
So he's showing up a day early or a day later?
He will arrive in the 5th. He's from the soccer team.
Okay.
He will arrive on the 5th, but in Wichita about 10 a.m. So Coach Nick is arranging to get him on the airport, but I think he won't be able to stay to arrive in Sterling by noon. So I don't know.
It'll be. We deal with that. We deal with that a lot. So everybody stays here till 5 p.m. So Nick will bring him to where he needs to go. So I would not worry about that at all.
So just for everybody, as much as you can, please try to make it here on the move-in day that your student is supposed to be here between 8 a.m. and noon to check in. If you have flights that are coming in later and you're not able to get here in time, that's okay. Just keep in contact with your coach if your student is a student athlete in our office, just to let us know you guys are coming in late. And if there's anybody that's not going to make it to campus by 5 p.m. that day, we'll just work with you and make sure that someone from student life in the dorm will be able to meet with the student when you guys arrive. So just make sure that our office knows that, and we'll get you guys taken care of.
Okay, very good. By the way, I'd like to thank Emily for all the support on this complicated, because for us everything is new. So it's our college here in Brazil is our different way of enrollment, and the kid, it's our youngest kid. I mean, I have 2 other girls that are already married and have sons, and so he's 19. For us is a different thing. So, but we are very, very excited to send him. So
yep.
That's awesome. We're excited to have him, and it's gonna be a great time. He'll fit in well, and
yes, that's the difficult part, to feed everybody well.
Yes. That's another thing that, just make sure your students communicate. Like Emily's saying, communication, is very important to us. We're easy to work with. We just have to know about it, if that makes sense. So with anything, if they're struggling academically or emotionally, we just, we need to know so we can get them the support that they need to be successful here. And like I said, everybody that's successful here they become advocates for themselves, and they communicate well, and they get the help that they need. So again, I can't tell you how much we're excited for this year to get going. It's coming fast. I'm sure it feels fast for you all as well. We're excited to have you all on campus. And again, if there's anything we can do for you, please call or email. And we want to make sure you're, take away that anxiousness and just support you all the way through this. Yes, Rachel. I see a hand go up. Rachel?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it'd be a little easier to just raise my hand. Yeah, so the questions I'm seeing kind of relate all together. The new event that you guys are talking about is it for both weekends of both times that everybody's enrolling? So because my daughter's coming on the 12th.
Yes.
Okay, and when is that?
The August 5th and 12th are our 2 move-in days.
No, when is the actual event of all the activities? And I think another question was, are parents and families supposed to attend it?
We're hoping that you're there for the move-in day. It does have parents scheduled in there, what I call the Warrior Welcome and Service of Dedication. And on both of those days, on the 5th and 12th, it is scheduled for 3:45 to 4:45. And it's over in our auditorium. It's just a nice time to kind of relax. You'd have plenty of time to be moving in and stuff, and I'm sure there might be more to finish up, but from there, that's the main event that we have for the parents.
Okay, and then all the other activities are not for the parents, right? It's just for the kids.
No, you're exactly right. Yes, it's for the students. It's led by, he's on vacation. I was going to have Hunter Morgan here. He was our career services and kind of in charge of our, what we call O staff. They're in charge of the games, activities that they'll be doing throughout basically from the 5th to the 17th of August before classes start.
So it's from the 5th through the 17th. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Got
There won't be that many events until the 12th happens, because not all the students are here yet for the orientations to get together, but there is some fall athlete kind of events going on between the 5th and the 12th, if that makes sense. So
okay.
the main orientation starts on the 13th or the 5th or 12th, I'm sorry.
Okay, so there's no events after the 12th that the families are expected or invited to come to. I just want to make sure we communicate that to everybody. Okay.
Yep. 3:45 to 4:45 on the 5th and the 12th will be that service of dedication and warrior welcome.
And Terrell dropped a link to our orientation schedule in the chat for everybody. So that'll give you all those details.
Okay, great. And then do you guys have any type of statistics or data that I can look at that helps discuss the locking of doors and a lot of other, discipline issues that I can help motivate my child to read?
When the first night that he's here, there'll be a hall meeting and the RDs will go over a lot of that. On the backs of their doors when they get there, we'll list out a lot of the discipline stuff. You can go to our website too in student life side of things. We'll have a student handbook there. It's still probably listed as last year's. I don't think there'll be much changes to it, but we still will update that before you guys arrive. But that's kind of gives you an idea of what our expectations are on the campus. They have to sign a community life covenant when they get here. You can read that as well on our website. That kind of gives you an idea of our campus culture, things like that.
And Jason, someone just asked if campus safety data is available.
Yeah.
Yes, it should be on the Cleary piece on our website. And I can't remember, it's obviously.
We'll add that link into the chat.
That'd be great. Thank you, Emily. Vanessa.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
How are you? Yes.
I'm good, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm calling from work and I have my earbuds on, so hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
I'm coming in from Texas. We're taking a road trip, so it's going to be about 11 hours. So I know Friday is going to be like a huge compact day. I know that there's a gap to where there's a free time if we need to leave to go get the kids anything that they need for their dorms. I know we say our goodbyes that day. That Saturday morning, I know that they're gonna have breakfast. I know they have like a criteria for a couple of days after that. Well, in case I didn't get everything that he needed, if I needed like to drive to, I know you're smiling, I'm being a mom and
No,
I
you're
just don't want to forget any, I don't want to
Sure.
forget anything, but will I be able to see him Saturday morning and drop off something if he needs it? Because I'm gonna be there, and will I be able to have breakfast with my baby before I leave?
Absolutely, absolutely. You're more than welcome.
Is he an athlete?
He is, he's football.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
Saturday
will
will be
have,
busy.
they will have sport physicals.
I know they're doing physicals, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we will have
Okay.
those on Saturday morning, but there should
scheduled-
be,
We
Go
scheduled
ahead.
breakfast early enough before those begin too, so she would have time to eat with him before they go off to.
And if not, it's not a big deal. I just want to make sure that if he's missing anything, that I'm getting what he needs before I leave. And for the physicals as well, I remember when we went to the Jumpstart, they said just to go ahead and give them cash, right? I think it was like $25 for the physicals.
Did you hear that?
$20.
Oh, 20. Okay,
They're
okay.
$20.
And
Yes.
is it just cash or can he pay like through a card or what's the easiest?
I think cash is easiest that morning.
Okay,
Because we have different stations and I'm not sure that station will have access to a card swiper.
Good question.
okay, okay, that's good. Okay, so yes to possible breakfast. If not, I just want to make sure, like I said, that he has everything that he needs before I leave, because I can't turn around. It's not right around the corner. And I think that's it, because I'm sure if I have anything else, I'll ask y'all on Friday.
That's great. Thank you, Vanessa. That's a good question.
Thank you so much.
Those are great questions.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question.
Okay.
Please. My son is coming in from New York, but I wasn't actually planning on traveling with him. I was just sending him, by himself. He's going to arrange with the coaches. But my thing is, do we later on in the semester have an opportunity for parents to come by and see how student life is going?
Does anybody want to touch? Are you asking can you visit anytime throughout the year?
Right, during the semester, if you have I don't know if you have a special time for parents to come
Oh,
to the semester, or if it's just one time that you have this session for parents.
Well, you can come anytime you'd like. Is he a football player, you said?
Yes, he's a football, so he's
Yeah.
coming on the 5th.
In the fall, we have Warrior Fest, and that's kind of our parent weekend, I guess you could say. A lot of alumni come back as well. We also have homecoming. Those are big dates that the town is really buzzing, and there's activities going on downtown for Warrior Fest and homecoming as well. So yes, you can come anytime you'd like to watch him play. But those are some important dates. I don't have those off the top of my head. If someone has those, they could put them in the chat or say them out loud.
Yes, could they put that, so at least I can plan for that?
Yep.
Warrior Fest is September 10th
Perfect. That's what I
and
needed.
homecoming is October 8th.
Homecoming, I know this sounds silly, but homecoming is at home, correct? And it's against Bethany.
It
Yep.
is
Because
at
with high
home.
school, it's so different.
Yes.
Sometimes it's, okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All
I'm
right.
good.
Again, we're excited. Thank you for joining us.
Jason, one more question. Can I?
Oh,
May I?
Go for it. Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe a silly question, as Vanessa said, but for us, it's everything new. I saw in the schedule for the semester, there are for the year, there are some days that the campus is closed. So for us that are parents for international students, they don't have any place to go. And what happens in these days? All the students have to leave the campus and stay in the hotels, in the city? How do you orientate these students that can go?
That's a great question. Typically, the only time that we try to clear campus totally out is Christmas. Typically, we work with international students very, very closely with these types of situations, Thanksgiving, spring break, those type of things. They just have to know most of the time, we do a survey with the students, so they let us know if they're going to be on campus, but we also let them know that at that time when campus is closed, the cafeteria is closed, they just need to be able to provide food for themselves, but they're still welcome to stay in the dorms through those times. They said, again, they have to communicate with us and let us know, hey, you know, I'm not going to go home for Thanksgiving and then next week get ready to get another flight to go home again for Christmas. We don't, we understand that, and you know, definitely the ones, especially are far out of state. We want to encourage, you know, a lot of them would go home with roommates or teammates, which is awesome. There's also, you know, we've talked about our host families. Some will go stay with their host family here in town and have Thanksgiving with them. So, but great question. Definitely, we definitely want to make sure they're, you know, we're well taken care of when they have to do those things.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. It's a great question. Anything else? We went overtime. Sorry, Em. She's always hounding me about
I
being
think
on
Rachel has
time.
another question.
Who did?
I think Rachel has another question.
Okay, go ahead, Rachel.
Sorry. I
You're
saw
fine.
a flyer on the host family information, but who's the right POC for me to ask questions on that?
Currently, you could just email Student Life, myself, and we'll get it to the right person. The person that's running that right now is actually transitioning to a new job in Oklahoma, so she'll be leading us. But someone will be there to pick that up.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Another thing I wanted to mention too, when on those orientation, those links that we provided, there is a what to bring. A lot of you just make sure you go through that, because we don't allow microwaves, because our dorms all have microwaves in the kitchen areas. So make sure you're following those. Our dorms, a lot of our dorms are older, so the capacity for electricity, you know, you need to have pretty long power strip cords to be able to get to those. So just read through that. Some dorms like Campbell does not, that's a men's dorm, does not have AC, but we do allow 8,000 BTU AC portable units to go in some of those rooms. We do have some in Student Life that we allow students to rent for $50 a semester. Typically, they don't need it in spring. Just depends on, you know, you're going to learn quick. The Kansas weather changes in a heartbeat, but typically in the spring, they don't need them. It's cool enough. But that first couple months can get pretty hot in Campbell. So if they're not in the basement, then they're probably going to need a unit or they can stay with the teammate in Kilbourne. They've done that before too. So, but that's just Campbell's tradition.
And we had a question too on that, what to bring that you're talking about, Jason. All of these documents that Jason is referring to were included in the folder you received if you came to campus for Jumpstart Day. If you enrolled by phone, it would have been emailed or mailed to you if you live in the US, and emailed to you. And for international students, we just emailed it over. So please make sure your students check their email and also their spam or promotions folder. Sometimes our emails get stuck there. And then if you guys still can't find anything, please reach out to me and I can resend all that information to you. And then it looks like Michelle had a question.
Michelle? No?
Let's see, are air fryers able to be used in the football dorm? I believe no air fryers. Is that correct,
No.
Jason?
Nope.
Yeah.
However, we could, if it's a need, the RD can obviously get one and set it beside the microwave if they would like to do that. I haven't seen one put in there yet, but that's always an option. But yeah, they just suck too much power. So we typically don't have those in the rooms.
Mini
And-
fridges are allowed,
Yes, yep.
And
and
then
you just
Rachel,
talked
did you
about
have a question?
electricity.
Yep, sorry, one more thing. I tried to look at the ordering books situation, and the student ID is not being accepted on this website. It says it could not find
Yep,
our
so
student ID.
for the textbooks, one thing, the bookstore for fall semester does not open until July 20th. So you will need to wait until that day to look for books. And then I would suggest just searching by the course number. And typically that works a little bit better than using the student ID.
Okay, is there an option of used books in a different location, or are these all new books for price difference?
I'm
Can I-
not positive on that. I think, I mean, you're welcome to look elsewhere once you know the name of the book. But I'm not positive on what type of books are in through our bookstore online.
Rachel, as a parent, my wife has always ordered from Chegg. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, Chegg or Amazon.
How do you spell Chegg?
I think it's just CHEGG.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think that's it. I appreciate you guys. We're looking forward to meeting you. If you guys have any more
Thank you.
questions, please call one of us or email. God bless. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
And Jason, I like this swag. Please keep in mind, I won't be on the campus so soon because it's been very hard to get a Brazilian visa as
Sure.
tourist. So, but Lucas can take care of it for me. Okay.
Sounds great. Well, I look forward to meeting him.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations for everything.
Yep.